In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use NearPod to increase interactivity and engagement of your students. Before I show you how to use NearPod, you must know what is NearPod. NearPod is a tool or add-on to make an interactive lesson for your students. It has an interactive dashboard for your entire lessons, videos, gamified activities, PowerPoint, Google Slides, etc. You can review the student sheet and teach students via live participation, student-paced or in-class mode. All you need is sign up using the teacher account and get started. The NearPod library contains a vast amount of interactive pre-made lessons and videos, and you can use them directly in your lessons or presentation. The time to climb game is one of the great features that gamifies the entire lesson and increases the students' and teachers' engagement. You can use the pre-made video of NearPod or your own video and can make it interactive by adding activities at any point of time on that video. You can take your students to a virtual reality tour and your students will love it from any devices. It has all the necessary LMS integration with Canvas, Google Classroom, etc. In this video, we will use NearPod with Google Slides and it will work in the similar way with PowerPoint as well. So let's get started. First, let us install this NearPod add-on. To install this add-on, go to Add-ons, go to Get Add-ons, go to Search Apps, search for NearPod, and you have NearPod. Since I've already installed this, that is the reason it is showing me installed. Once you install this, click on this Close button and again go to Add-ons. You have NearPod. Click on Open NearPod, and once you click that, you will see that you have NearPod towards the right end, and this navigation pane will be having a lot of features related to NearPod. So you see you have audio, you have BBC video, you have collaborate board, you have field trip and so on. Let's say I am into slide number 2 and it says what is HTML. And in this case, let's say I want to add an open-ended question where students can reply to me not only yes or no, but they can reply in form of text. Let's say if I come here, you see if I come down, I should be having open-ended question. If I click on this, and you see here, I can add a particular question, I can bold it, I can italicize it, and so on. Let's say I have a question like explain about HTML, all right? And you see, if you want, you can insert an image. So let's say if I just click on this add image, I'll just insert an image from Google. So I'll just click here and you have various options. In our case, I'll just use Google. I'll just type here HTML and click on search. And let's say I can add this image. Click here, click on save. All right. And you can also bold it. For example, let me just bold this word that is HTML and click on save. And you'll see that you have a blank new slide here, that is third slide. And at this moment it is blank, but now you see it is showing open-ended question. All right. Similarly, let's go to slide number 4 and it says write 3 HTML formatting tags. So in this session, what I have considered is I'm trying to teach HTML to our students. All right. So with respect to that, my next slide is write 3 HTML formatting tags. And in this case, let me just choose some different thing. For example, I'll choose this collaborate board. Now, collaborate board is a type of discussion board where students can post images, text, etc. So let's try this. Click on this collaborate board. And you see you can add a topic here. And at the bottom, you see you can choose any style. And here I can just say, write about 3 HTML formatting tags which you are aware of. All right. You can also add some description. I'm not going to do that. And you can save it. All right. So you see it is trying to save your document. Now let's come down And let's say I have an image. So you see this is an image. I can show you. Say this is the image. I can drag it also. So let's say I want to explain this image, and in the meantime, I can ask my students to draw something on this image. They can draw a particular object or they can draw a text as well. So it all depends on the type of question. Let's say if I select this particular slide and if I just come down, let me just select draw it. Now, if you want to convert this particular image as a drawing object, then first you need to click on this convert to draw it. And if you click on this, what happens is your students can use the same image and they can draw on top of it. Alright, so I have clicked on this and you see it is trying to convert to draw it object. And now you see it has converted to draw it object and it will create a similar slide of the same image. So previously you see you were having this particular slide and now what happens is it has created a draw it object. Now in this case your students can draw anything on top of it based on your instruction. Let's move to the next slide, and here we have match the following. Alright, and what I'm going to do is in this case let me just try to use another feature. For example, I can just use match pairs. So first I'll select this slide, that is slide number 8, on which I'll apply this matching pairs. Click on this matching pairs, and once you click on this, now you can add instruction here. So I can add an instruction here, something like this: match the following pairs. Alright, and now you have to add the pairs. So first let me just add, for example, let's say if I just add, I'll just say HTML. It can go with CSS, so I'll just say CSS. I'll add another pair. I'll just say here Java, and Java is a programming language. I'll just say programming language. Add another pair, and let's say this time I'll just say JavaScript, and in the text I'll just add here, let's say scripting language. Alright, click on done, and now this is the matching pair activity where students has to match a particular option from one end to another end. So for HTML they have to match CSS, for Java they have to match programming language. Similarly, for JavaScript they have to match scripting language. Once you have done this, you can also click on this preview button to see the changes, or you can click on this save button to save your changes. And you see it is loading now. Alright, now let's come down. I have another slide. So in this case what I can do is I can add fill in the blanks interactivity. So you see if I click on this, so let's say I can choose a particular style which is matching my theme. So this blue one is matching my theme, and I'll just say here, for example, the table tag defines the table, the tr tag defines the row, and I can just say the td tag defines the data of the cell. Alright, click on this. Now what happens is you have to choose the word for which you will be showing the fill in the blank. In this case, let's say if I choose the word table, so they'll be having this option to drag it. Similarly, for the next line, I can just select tr, and for the third line, I can select td. Alright, click on done. So for fill in the blanks, it has created another slide. Similarly, go to the next slide, and here I have added to take a quiz. I'll be having an option to select quiz. Alright, click on this quiz button, and in this case what will happen is I can just assign a quiz. So I can add questions here. Let's say I'll just say HTML stands for. I can just add options here. For example, I can just say hypertext markup language. Alright, and the next option I can add, let's say hypertext method program, and again I'll add another set of option, let's say hyper tool markup language, and so on. Now you can also change the option in the order. For example, here let's say I can drag it to bring it to the second order as well. So I'll just say HTML stands for hypertext markup language. Let me just make it to small case, and I can add another list of questions. For example, I can add a question again. I'll just click on this add question. I can just say here CSS stands for, and I can add the options. For example, I can just say like cell cascade style, or I can just say, for example, let's say cascading style sheets, or I can just say cascading style system, and so on. And again, let me just try to bring this to third option. I can mark this as correct option and click on save. And now you see you have quiz added in your Google slide. Now come down. Now let's move to next slide, and here I've added a beautiful picture where it says climb to the top of the game. So for this I can add, let's say I can add a game. For example, let's say I can add a game that is time to climb. So it is a sort of gamified activity which will create a lot of engagement and fun with your students. In a way, it will also help your students to speed up their process. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this time to climb button so that I can play a gamified game. Now in this case, you see either you can add a question here, or you have lessons which you can explore from this climb library. And let me just ask a question. For example, show me the code for adding meta author. And you see I can add images as well, I can add text as well, and I can just give the answer here, I mean the options first of all. So let me just give here, for example, meta author equal to, I can just give my name, for example Sandeep, or I can just give something like this, that is meta author equal to, let's say TutorialBrain. And you see the difference in the first option and the second option is that I don't have the greater than symbol here, so this is wrong. They have to read the question properly, and based on that they can mark the answer. Now in this case, you see the second one is the correct answer if you are a HTML person, and I have misspelled it, so I can just add meta author, right? And let me add another option. So let me just say meta title equal to, let's say Sandeep. All right, so this is wrong. So the answer is the second one, that is meta author equals a particular name, because if you are trying to add a particular author name using meta tag in HTML, then you have to use this type of tag. All right, and again you can add multiple questions, which I'm not going to do at this moment. And let me just click on save button. What will happen is the students can choose a particular avatar when this particular game will come to them, and the person who will score most will move to the top. You see, this is the game it has added. Go to the next slide, and here what I'm trying to do is I'll just ask my student to watch a particular video, and I'll ask some questions from that particular video, or that video can have the list of questions directly embedded in that video. I'll show you. So towards your right, you just come down and you have an option of video. Click here. So either you can have an external video, or what you can do is you can explore the videos directly from NearPod. So NearPod contains a collection of lot of videos. All right, I'm just trying to use a video from NearPod in this particular video. So let's say I search for a video related to HTML, and just click on this search button. There are no videos. So let me just close this and search for another video. For example, let's say computer. Click here, and this is just to show you in case you want to use this feature. And I can see that, let me just select this particular video, and without wasting any time, I've just selected this video. In your case, based on your requirement, you will choose a particular video from either NearPod, or you can attach or embed a video from external source. All right, so you see this particular video has started also. And now if I just come forward, you see you can play this video, and if you just come near to this dot, you see if I just play this, you see I'll just lower down this volume, and now you see that once it will come here, it will show a particular list of questions that is open-ended question in this case, and you can edit this question as well. So if you click on this edit button, you can change this particular question, which I'm not going to do now, or you can delete this activity. All right. So let me just close this, and sorry, I think I have closed this video. So let me again select this video. Let me select a video. For example, I was just checking for computer and click here. And this is the video which we were talking about. Now, you see here, you have an option to add an activity at any point of time. So let's see, if I just bring my cursor here, let's see if I just drag this particular dot, and at this moment, I want to add an activity. I can just click on this add activity, and you see you have option of open-ended or multiple choice question. Let me add multiple choice question, and I can do that as well. So here I can just ask, for example, HTML is a programming language, and I can just give an option whether it is true, or the next option I can just give as false, right? So HTML is not a programming language. In fact, it is a markup language. All right. So I'll just make it as capital letter. All right. And let me just click on this false button. All right. Click on save. And what you have done is you have taken a video directly from NearPod, from their library, and you have created an activity from your end. All right. And then you can save it. So this video can be played on your student's page, or you can play this video as per your instruction. I'll show you that as well. Please hold on. And now you see that this particular video has been added as a separate slide. You see, next one we have is like a referral link or reference link. All right. So for this, what I'm going to do is I'll just add web content. So what happens is sometimes I'll ask my students to refer to a particular link, and what I can do is I can just embed that link in NearPod. I'll just show you. For example, you see here it shows the URL, and you can just embed a URL. For example, I can just say www.tutorialbrain.com. all right, and I can just say, let's say HTML, and I just say HTML_home, and I can just test this link as well. Click on this test link, and now you see this particular link is working. All right, so let me just close this, and you see if I just come down, I can just click on this save button to save the changes. Click here, and now you have a separate page with web content. The next slide I have just added is let's go on a virtual tour. All right, so in this case, what I want to do is I'll just add a particular feature in NearPod. You see, we have an option of field trip. All right, click on this. I'll just show you. This is also a very cool feature in NearPod. Just click on this. You can select an image which will look like a VR object, that is virtual reality object. So let's say I can select here India, click search. I can embed an object. So let's say I like this. I can have a preview, or I can just click on done. Now you see this has added a beautiful VR object here, and the student can view this VR object. All right, and let me just go to next slide. And normally I used to keep a poll or a feedback so that I can get a feedback from the students. So you see, if I just come to my last slide, I can just come here and let me just add a poll. So I'll just click on this poll button, and I ask a question. For example, your feedback, please. All right. And let me just give an option. For example, I can just say like poor, or I can just say like sad, and let me just add another option. I can just say like happy, and I'll just bring it here so that the first option is always a positive option. So let's click on the save button, and you see this particular poll is also added. If I just come down, you see the 23rd number slide is having this particular poll. All right. Another point which I missed to tell you is that you can also add a timer in your activity. For example, let me just come up, or let me just come down and just go to quiz section. For example, you see we have quiz. So you see we have already added an activity, and in case you missed to add something, you can always go back and edit that particular activity. In this case, I'll click on this edit this slide button, And now my questions are there. And you see here, I can just go to, let's say, question number 1 or question number 2. And here I can add a timer. For example, let's say if I click here on timer, I can add a particular timer. Let's say for this particular question, I'll add 40 seconds or 30 seconds. Click on add. And now this particular option will be having this timer, and students has to complete this particular question within that particular time. All right. Let's click on the save button. And now you see I've added everything. Now once everything is done, what I'll do is I'll try to share this with my students. So for that, first I'll just save this and go to NearPod. So you see, if you just click on this save and go to NearPod, that means you're trying to save your presentation and activities. Alright, so it will open a new link or new tab where you'll be having NearPod website. And now it will take some time. You see this particular file is getting saved. You can see here it is showing saving. And before that, I'll just show you that it is always better to create all your presentation in a particular folder, so that in future, if you want to refer it, it is always better and easier for you to go back and refer that particular folder. So normally, if you just click on this folder button, you see if I click on this folder button, I can create a folder. And you see in this particular case, since this particular topic is all about HTML, I have already created a folder with the name as HTML. So what I'm going to do is I'll just drag this particular option and this particular file and keep it under HTML. Alright, and if you want to refer it, you can just click on this HTML, and now you have your entire slides here. Alright, now you have multiple options to share this with your students. Either you can have live participation plus Zoom, but in my case I don't like Zoom, so normally I just choose live participation. So I'll click here. What will happen is it will give a particular link or a particular code, and you can share that code or link with your students. This is the code NearPod has generated, and you can copy this code and give to students to join the presentation. Now in this case, you see your students has to go to join.nearpod.com and they have to give this particular code, or you can just copy this link at the bottom. You see it has generated this particular link. You can copy this and then you can just ask your students to log on to their system. Now let's say I'm a student, I can just give this particular link, click enter, and now students has an option to give the name, and I always ask students to give their real name. Alright, please stress on that. So let's say a particular student is there, his name is Sandy. Click on join lesson. So now I'm trying to join the lesson as a student. So you see this is the particular lesson, and let me do one thing. So what I have done is, this side towards the right I have the teacher's page, and towards the left I have the student page. So first let me just close this, and now you see in both the screens I'm having the same details. Now consider the left side that a particular student has logged in from a remote location, and let me just click on this button, and if I click here, you see it will move to the next slide, and this particular question or this particular slide will be shown on the student's page as well. So what is HTML? So he will be ready with the questions about HTML. I'll click on next. And now you see the student can write a detail. For example, explain about HTML. He can write HTML is a markup language to create the layout of the web page. And you see if he submits that, now I'll be having an option to see that in teacher's screen. So you see towards my right, this is the teacher screen, and you see after some time it shows me the option, and if you just click on this answer, click here, it shows this particular answer, and you can share this with other students as well. If I click on this share button, now you see this particular answer is shared on the screen of the student, and if there are multiple students, all the students can see this particular answer. Alright, so close this, and let's say there are multiple students, you'll see all these students one below other. Let's go to next page, and it says write 3 HTML formatting tags. Click on the next button, and now in this case you see it says write about 3 formatting tags which you are aware of. As we know that this is a collaborate board, so it asks me that whether I should approve the student comments which they have posted. And it is better to choose yes so that they do not post any nuisance. Click on yes. You see you have the same screen here, that is write about 3 HTML formatting tags which you are aware of. And the students can write here, for example, let's say B tag and then strong tag and let's say I tag. Alright, and they can click on this post button, and once they submit this, you see you have a notification as a teacher screen, and click on this particular notification and you see you have this message that Sandy says B, strong and I. Let me just close it, and again you can share this with other students and go to next one. Now here it says structure of HTML document, and you see this is a drawing object, so just go to the next one and it says awaiting drawing from Sandy. Now here you see if I just select this particular pen, I can mark anything, I can choose a color, and let's say I can draw anything. So based on a particular requirement, you can draw anything. Similarly, you can add a text as well. You see I can add a text. So you see I can add anything. And you can also erase it. For example, if I just select this option, let me just select this option, and you see I can erase my drawing as well. Alright, so with this, let me just click submit button as a student so that the teacher can view what I have done. So I just click on this and you see it shows Sandy in progress in my teacher screen, and now it says Sandy has submitted it. So it takes some time because this particular screen will be like student screen and they will be logging from a remote location. Now you can always click on this particular one which your student has submitted. You see here he has drawn something, right? And again you can share it with other students. Let's close this at this moment and move forward, and here it says match the following. Alright, so student will be prepared to match, and click on next, and it says that for the student screen they have to match for the following pairs. So let's say for CSS, they have to match HTML. So it is right. It is showing a tick mark. Again, for Java, it is showing as, let's say 4 options. I can choose programming language. And again, for JavaScript, I'll choose this scripting language. Now, whenever you choose a wrong option as a student, it will give a particular red option that you have selected a wrong answer. All right. And you see it has shown also that it took 3 tries for this. All right. So click on this, got it. And I can see that in my teacher screen as well. So as a teacher, I'm showing towards the right end so that I'll just show the option how teacher will be able to see the option from students. Just go to the next, and the teacher wants you to fill in the correct words. Alright, so let's say if I just move forward. So in this case, you see it says the blank tag defines the table. So he has to select this table. Alright, and let's say the next one, it says the blank tag defines the row. And in this case, let's say he selects the wrong option, that is TD. And for the last one, he selects this particular option. And once he clicks on done, you see it says you got 1 out of 3 correct answers. So it is also giving an instant feedback to the students how many questions they have done it correctly. Alright, so you can just close it. And as a teacher, you can also see the answer. So just click on this view answers and you can just see the answer submitted by your student. Alright, click on this close button, move forward. It gives a particular slide to take the quiz. Once I'll move forward, the students will also get the same slide, and you see in this case it has given that it is a time to take a quiz, and it says you'll have 30 seconds for this particular quiz. Alright, so once I'll click on start activity as a teacher, my students will be able to start the activity. So I have just clicked on this, and you see towards the left, the students will also get the option. And now you see HTML stands for, I can just say like, let's say hypertext markup language. Go to next. Similarly, CSS stands for, and I can just say, let's say cascading style system, which is wrong. And if I just submit it, now you see it gives the report to the teacher that 50% is correct and 50% is wrong. Alright. And again, let's go to the next activity. And here it says climb to top of the game. Go to next slide. Now there is an option to choose a particular theme. So let's say I choose this particular theme and click on continue button so that this particular game is starting. Now you see I have already enabled the sound. That is the reason you can see that in the screen of the student. Let me select a particular character. Let's say I can select this particular character, and now let me just move forward, or let me just start it. Alright, so I've just started it, and now you see Sandy is there, and once I'll get all the students present in my activity, I'll ask them whether all of them are ready. If they say yes, I'll click on this start button as a teacher, and if I'm a student, I'll be able to see that my teacher has started this particular game and I have to finish it so that I can move to the top. Let's say I can choose this first option or second option, for example, meta author equals TutorialBrain, and I can just see my progress. So it says 714 points and so on. Alright, now you can see that this particular option is shown in the leaders board also, and it says nice work. Alright, and it says congratulations Sandy, 714 points and you are the winner. Alright, so this is how you can create engaging lessons using NearPod, and this gamified version of NearPod, that is time to climb, is an awesome feature which every educator must try with their students. Alright, let's move forward, and now here it says watch the video and complete this activity, and go and see the video. So you see this is the video I'm talking about. So students will be able to see this particular screen, and you have an option as a teacher whether you want the full control over the video or you want the video to be student based. So if you choose the first option, that video will be played on your screen and the students will not have much control. But if you see the second option, and if you choose the second option, students can watch the video as per their own pace and they can proceed further. So let's say I choose this student play and click on this continue button. So this is like a teacher, and towards the left side you see this is like a student. Alright, and students can play this. So you see he can play this, and you see once he comes to this particular point, you see if I just click on this play button, let me just lower down this volume, or I can just mute it. Now you see when the student will come here, he will automatically get this question that what do you know already about how a cell phone works. So he can write something. I'll just write a random thing. Let me just click on this submit button, and now you see you have an option to continue playing as a student, and just click on this and student can proceed further. Alright, so this is how you can add activity in your videos as well. So you see here we have added a lot of questions here, and just move forward as a teacher, and students will also get reference link. Just click on this, and now the next one we have is this particular link, and the same website will be shown on the student page. So you see this particular website, that is TutorialBrain, will be shown on the student page. Now let's move forward, and now you have a virtual tour. So just click on this next, and now you see you can move the object and you can have a virtual reality theme. So you see as a student also I can do the same thing. Alright, just move forward, and now at the end I always take a feedback. So just go forward, and you see this is the poll which will start at student end, and they can choose any option. Let's say happy, and once they click on submit button, as a teacher I can just see that a particular student, that is Sandy, has selected happy. Alright, once everything is done, let me just close this student screen, or let me just enlarge this teacher screen, and here at top you have an option to directly see the reports, which is a very good feature. Or you can just click on this end session, and if I just click on this end session, you see it says are you sure you want to end the session? Click yes, and now you see as a student you will be also logged out because the teacher has ended the session. Alright, and as a teacher screen you see it will go to the library, that is nearpod.com and library, and if you just go to this HTML, if I click on this HTML, you see you have this entire file. So you can replay this based on your requirement. So that's it in NearPod. So I hope I'm able to cover a lot of important concepts of NearPod, and I cannot cover each and every point in one single video lesson. So what I'll do is I'll try creating more videos on NearPod. In case if you like this particular video, do comment and do subscribe to our channel. And I, as an instructor, request all of you to go ahead and try this particular feature. And I'm not affiliated to NearPod, but in fact, this is my personal experience which I'm sharing with you, that NearPod is a very good tool for Google Slides as well. Alright, so that's it in this video. If you like the video, please click on the like button. Do subscribe to our channel, and that's it. Tata, bye bye.